guys, it's Sheila from One Pretty Little Box. How are you doing? I am catching up on some vlogs for you guys, and one of the things that I knew I wanted to share, I was going to do last week, was I wanted to share my 5 biggest pet peeves. And believe it or not, as positive of a person I am, there are some things that really push my buttons, let's put it that way. And honestly, I probably could have come up with a few more. And I did write them down because I didn't want to forget and go off on this long tangent. So I kind of had to pull myself in check here. And, you know, I ain't got a prompter on the other side of this camera, so notebook will do. The very first thing that I put as pet peeve was bad driving. Any of you out there, does it bother you? It is so funny. I drive into work early in the morning. I say early. It's before 7. But I can always tell who's running late. Funny thing is, it's several of the same vehicles every day. And so I'm like, just set your alarm a little earlier. I'm out early, but I usually get to work before I need to be. Or at least when I need to be. I'm not, very rarely am I late. Not using a blinker when you're turning frustrates me. Whether I'm waiting to see if you're turning in for me to turn, or if I'm behind you and all of a sudden you just stop and then you turn in somewhere with no blinker. Put that blinker on. It frustrates me like no other. People driving with bright lights, all their brights on. That kind of blinds somebody. It hurts. My eyes are very sensitive, so that kind of stuff really kind of frustrates me a lot. So bad driving is like really top on the list for me, because it's something that could be avoided and something that could be fixed. If people would just, you know, drive like they're supposed to, follow the rules, if you want to say, and stop making exceptions thinking that those rules don't apply to them, we'd all be a lot safer. Probably a lot less accidents on the road, and probably much more happy people at work during the day without coffee. My second pet peeve, and I've talked about this before, is screaming kids in public places. Kids that are just unruly and screaming, and I don't mean joyful kind of screaming. Even though if you are happy, you can contain it a little bit, but it's more tolerable to me than kids throwing a dad burn fit because they can't get out of the basket, or they were told no, or they just don't want to be there. Mind you, I understand a lot of times when kids are throwing a fit or are cranky, there's a reason. They're hungry. They need to go to the bathroom. They're thirsty. They're bored. I get all those things. That's why when I stayed at home, or even when my kids were younger, I worked around their schedule for a lot of the things that I needed to do. Because if I was going to take them with me, I didn't want that time to be unenjoyable for myself, let alone anybody else. It's like parenting has been thrown to computers and TVs and phones and iPads, and instead of parenting somebody through a situation, talking them through it, instead of saying, hey Sally, I know you're tired, let mama get this last couple things and we're going straight home, and you can watch a show, or you can play, or you can lay down and rest. Instead they said, here, play another game, here, play another game, here, play another game, where Sally really just wants you to talk to her. She just wants you to know that you hear her, that her feelings are validated to you. Just like we want our feelings validated, children do too. And if the only thing is, if theirs aren't, they're going to continue until you validate them. Even if you're mad. Even if you're so mad at them and you're yelling back at them for throwing a fit, their feelings were validated, and 9 times out of 10 they calm down. Not because you yelled at them, but because you listened and you acknowledged them. So, just make it stop. If you have one of those children who like to throw a fit, work on that as a parent. I understand there are cases where, you know, you have children with sensory disorders and it's uncomfortable, but You're the parent. You have to teach them through these situations. You don't coddle them through them, and you don't avoid them completely, because they're never going to grow and learn how to handle that with you nearby. And that's what they need the most. Told you. That's why I wrote them down, because this will go on and on. The third thing is, of course, negative people. I have a hard time thinking. Not necessarily just negative people, but people who totally will blame a situation on someone else. Instead of saying, hey, look, I was in a bad mood when you came to me. I really honestly didn't hear one word you said to me. I just reacted out of the frustrations that I am dealing with at the moment. No. Instead, it's your fault. You came to them when they were busy in their mind and couldn't be interrupted. So you not only interrupted something that they have going on, now you're the problem. Because you interrupted and you're bringing me something new, which to me is ridiculous, right? Because I'm not a negative person. When I make mistakes, I make them. I own up to them. And I hate to make mistakes. I really, really do. So I try to do my best. And the mistakes that I make are usually very, very honest mistakes. Because I don't like making mistakes like that, or any kind of mistake, honestly. I have a couple kids like that, and I have 1.5. The other 1.5, it just depends on their mood. I'm so tired, guys. My eyes are burning. Hold on a second. That was a plane. I'm yawning and I hear a crop duster, so I guess we're gonna hear this little guy for a little while. I don't like it when people blame other people for mistakes that they made, or they feel so entitled that it doesn't apply to them. Bad things happen to everybody. Situations happen that are difficult to every single person. 9 times out of 10, every single day. But it's how we look at the situation and how we grow from it as to what kind of outlook and mindset we have from it. A negative person will automatically take it internally, blame themselves, blame everyone around them, instead of trying to find a solution. A positive-minded person is going to sit down for a minute, take inventory, figure out, okay, well, what part did I play in this, and how can I fix it? How can I avoid it next time? And what solution can we come from it? And that is more my frame of mind. I'm a problem solver, left and right. Bring me a problem, I'm gonna help you walk through that, and we're gonna find a solution together. Just because that's what I like to do. That's how my brain ticks. Remember, I don't like to make mistakes. So if I can avoid them or help other people avoid silly mistakes, it's exactly what I want to do. The fourth thing, I kind of touched this the other day when I told y'all that we're not in junior high anymore, but it's friendships based only on liking the same thing, which is stupid. If you have friends, whether they be acquaintances or whatever, that you associate with, but the only time you ever associate with them is when you're in 100% agreement at that very minute, and that's it. Instead of accepting the fact that we're all different, we all have different mindsets, we all have different goals and dreams in our lives, right? We might be of the same faith, we might not be of the same faith. I might be open enough to understand and listen to your faith, but you might not be open enough to listen to mine. And when you don't, and you shut that off, you already put a condition on our friendship. The friendship that you want is conditional only when all the conditions are exactly right for you and not the other person. It doesn't matter what's going on with them, but if it's right for you, you'll be their friend. If it's not right for you, we'll put that friendship on the back burner for a while. That's not life. That's not how it goes. I'm fixing to start weeding some of those kind of friendships out of my life because they're pointless and they're useless and they're going nowhere but in a circle, which is crazy. I'm not a dog on a chain around a tree going around in circles trying to find another way out. I'm not going to do that, and I don't want that for you. So There you go. And of course, my very last and one of the most frustrating pet peeves of mine is when people make plans with my kids, with my and my husband's kids, without first consulting us. I have that happen to me all the time, especially in the last couple years. It seems like adults think it's appropriate to make plans with my children without talking to me. They're not your children. Don't make plans with them until you talk to me first. Don't even give them the inclination you want to make plans with them until you talk to me or my husband. Because either you're going to look like a fool or I'm going to be the bad guy. And I don't want that. If you're an adult in my child's life, I respect you enough to allow you to spend time with them. I mean, that I protect them, you know? I build a little wall around them as much as I can to protect them. But when you come crashing through that wall and you make plans with my kid and then they have to come ask me and I say no, not only am I frustrated because that conversation happened behind my back, but two, you put me in a very awkward position that you shouldn't have done. Point blank. It is very inappropriate for adults to make plans with other people's kids without talking to their parents. Point blank. Maybe I'm Southern. Maybe that's just something deep within me. Maybe you have a different viewpoint. I'd love to hear it. Yes, my kids are teenagers, but come on already. They're still under my roof, in my nest. I'm still the one responsible for them and helping guide them in decision making and situations that they may not know how to handle. By golly, am I going to let you have that control? One of the twins had a relationship with the kid in the neighborhood, but his mom was constantly texting him, and that frustrated. It was creepy. I didn't like it. I don't like it, and I never will. There you go. So, as much as I give you guys of me of things that I love and things that I appreciate and things that I really hold on to, I wanted to give some real facts of things that I dislike, things that I don't like, because I've had people tell me, you're not human. You like everything. Oh, little birdie. Sorry. I love spring. I've had people tell me that I must not be real because nothing frustrates me, but in reality, there are so many things, and those are the 5 biggest things, crop duster, of things that really frustrate me the most. We're human. We all have them. What are your biggest pet peeves? I'd love to know. Put them in the comments below. I'm trying to be really diligent and respond to every comment because I like chatting with you guys and getting to know you as you get to know me through the videos. I guess that's it for this one. I could name a couple other things, but they're petty. They're not big deals. That to me is 5 big deals of things that will send me over the edge. Maybe there's things that you never thought of before. Maybe there's situations that I talked about that you might not have seen a different perspective on. If I opened that door for you, yay, I'm glad I did. That's the point of all these videos, is to enlighten us to learn to love the life that we live right now. And sometimes we have to know what we don't like to know what we do. We have to know what we don't want in our life to know what we do want in our life and to go after those things. Definitely. If you don't know what you don't like or what frustrates you, you honestly have not dug deep enough to understand what you do like and what you appreciate and what motivates and encourages you. Crop duster. Sorry, that is what we do at home. Every time he flies over his bright yellow plane, probably fertilizing the rice field behind me. That's probably what he's doing, because I haven't heard him in a while. Thankfully, it's a Monday afternoon and not a Saturday morning at 6:30, because that's usually when he likes to do his business. I'll take it on a Monday afternoon. All right, guys, I hope you have a fabulous day. I look forward to sharing more with you. I am probably going to upload this video now. It is Monday, so you're going to see it Tuesday because I just shared one. So for Tuesday, you're going to get 2 videos. You're going to get the one you're seeing now, and you're going to get a grocery haul. The grocery haul might come later in the evening or might be on Wednesday morning, but it's coming, promise. Until next time, guys, thanks for stopping by. Next time, bring some coffee and we'll sit and chit-chat some more. Bye-bye.